And welcome back to another video. Bad news this week. I'm going bad. Things are going bad now the last 2 weeks. I'm smiling through it, but I'm raging deep down. We lost another calf this week. I'll explain that in the video. Just general farming, nothing too out of the ordinary. Weather has taken a massive turn here. It's gone cold and wet. Grass is not really growing, but look, it is what it is. It's September now, so yeah, that's the update. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just bringing the bin down to the calves. John filled the two of them yesterday. They're down the other side of the farm. There's something wrong with that bullock now. What is it? His eye is even a bit sunken. Great. I don't know, maybe he's grazing away happy out there. He does look a bit off though, doesn't he? Maybe not. Calves are on the reseed there now. They're basically just rotating all around the reseeded ground. It's growing some grass, like it's just, there's no comparison to the rest of the farm in what grass this is growing. So yeah, if we could just click a finger now and reseed the whole place, but we'll get there bit by bit. But yeah, the calves are thriving mad. This ground is suiting them now. They're still on, I don't know, what is it, 1.2 or 3 kilos of nuts per day. They'll leave them on that now because coming into September they're just going to get the grass, the goodness will go out with the grass, so they may as well stay on that and keep ticking along. But yeah, they're proper little grazers now. They'll have this wiped in no time. Another thing just to note, this field got reseeded in, was it April? Didn't grow a whole lot with the drought now at the start, but all it got fertiliser wise since it was set was 10-10-20 at sowing and a top dressing of 10-10-20 probably 5-6 weeks after sowing, and that's it. It hasn't got any fertiliser since. There's plenty of clover in it that seems to be keeping it ticking over, and yeah, like it's some saving to say it's got no fertiliser and it's growing more grass, so it just goes to show. I'm still feeding these two bullocks, even though I'm not really sure what I'm doing with them. They're probably getting, I don't know, that's not a big bucket now. They're probably getting 4.5 kilos. But yeah, the way beef price is, every kilo kind of pays at the minute, so feeding them is no harm. So yesterday I had 4 smallies, as I call them, and today I've only 3. Absolutely gutted. I'm raging now. The calf that had the surgery back in the springtime, probably 3 months ago, for anyone that's not watching, his underneath basically swelled up, and what happened was his penis got blocked with calcium little balls and he couldn't pee, and all the urine backed up, and we had to cut him open and redirect it basically out. And he was absolutely flying it. I was only saying to myself last week, he was the first calf to the truck in that little group every day. He was shining, and you would not have picked him out of the rest of them for being sick. And he was 200 kilos, I'd say, a month ago. So he's probably 220 kilos, like he was bombing it. No fear of him. And I went to feed him 2 days ago, and he was a little bit off, but he wasn't first to the truck, a bit off. I actually thought he was a bit lame, and I said I must get him in now and lift the leg. And then I got him in yesterday morning for his nuts, and big swelling under his belly again, and I said, for feck's sake. So rang the vet. The vet came out. I was actually away. I was at a farm walk with work yesterday evening, and he tried everything to fix him. He cut him open, tried to fix it again, but basically what happened is the cord or the penis basically ruptured further up inside in him, and there wasn't anything he could do. Like, he couldn't bring it out enough to fix them, and the urine was starting to cause what's the word I'm looking for, like poison him in his blood. So yeah, he had to put him down. So I'm so annoyed. Fuck's sake, like two calves now in 2 weeks. Like, brought him to the mart, 220 kilos. He was probably worth £1,000. The fella last week, a suckler wean, and like what they're making in the mart at the minute is madness. Like, that calf has got 2 vet call outs. The one with this bad back got 2 vet call outs. Feeding him all year. The way the beef price is at the minute, I'm like a dog now. Really annoyed that he died on me. We rarely lose animals here. We do, like, we don't lose them too often. Like, I don't know how long it's been since I've lost a suckler calf. It's years. Even calving cows, like, we don't lose them. I watch them like a hawk. And the weanlings, like, I think it's 3 years ago now since I lost a bucket calf, and that was bloat. So like, I'm raging now. 2 in 2 weeks is so much. And look, there's nothing you can do. And as someone said to me yesterday, once it's outside the house, it's not a big problem, but it's just a lot when you've, like, it's a lot when you've not many, like, to be losing 2 now in 2 weeks. And he was doing so well. That's what I'm raged about. I was only saying to myself last week how well he was doing, and then to be dead. So yeah, that's how my week is going now. Not great. We'll just have to get on with it. Mullins will be out in the morning to take him away, and yeah, forget about him and move on. So I'm just in the office here now. I need to get this video, today is Friday evening, and I need to get this video edited and uploaded this evening. It won't be up until Sunday, but just we're away at a truck show for the weekend, so I won't have a chance to do it. And I've been meaning to do, which means I'm short on content. We're moving around cattle this evening and stuff, so normally that'll be in this week's video, but it'll be in next week's instead. So what I'm going to do is, just to add insult to injury with my dead calf, I'm going to do up the costs of what it costs to take a calf, the bucket calf, from probably February when they arrived with us until the end of August, so the 31st of August. It's the first week of September now, so we'll do up. I'm in the office now, the whiteboard here. I tend to try and keep a fair track of what my costs are on an Excel sheet on the laptop, and just update it every couple of months. So I have that updated now, and I'll just show you what it actually costs to rear a calf. Not as bad as I thought it was, but I'll let you decide. Okay, so I'm gonna throw it up on the whiteboard. The first thing is probably calf cost. I'm not going to include calf cost because I've been buying the calves off the same 2 farmers for the last, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years now. I have a very good relationship with the 2 of them, and they didn't do me this last spring. Calves, as everyone knows, calves went absolutely bonkers last spring, and mine probably cost me something similar or a little bit more than what they cost me the previous year. So they both looked after me, and I don't want to risk them not looking after me in spring 2026 because calf price probably gonna be mad again. So look, it's easy. Everyone knows their own calf price. Just add on whatever your own is. But mine came in very reasonable for where the market went after. So the next big thing then is milk replacer. This is going to be backwards for you now, but I'll put up a picture of it when I'm done, if you want a screenshot. So the calves, normally I used to run at about 1.5 or 1.6 bags of milk replacer per calf. There's 20 kilo bags. But when I moved across to the automatic feeder, I ended up at 1.8 nearly. So they ended up with 49.5 kg of powder per calf, which is high. I would like that a little bit lower, But just the way the curve is on the feeder, and yeah, speaking to other farmers about it, you do tend to feed a little bit more milk replacer when you're using an auto feeder. So the milk replacer was costing me, I think it was $2.30 per kilo. And that came in then at €113 for the total per calf. Some calves would have drank more, some calves would have drank less. I just divided my total milk replacer purchase by 40 calves and got an average across the board. That's the very best and the very worst, or maybe not the worst, probably the oldest and youngest, then all averaged the same. Concentrates then, so from arrival until the 31st of August, they have eaten 351 kg of nuts. They're costing me €345 per tonne, so 34 cents per kg. So it's costing me €119 in nuts to get them from there to that. So yeah, if you'll have watched my videos from the start, you'll know I do not skimp on nuts. I think it's really important to develop the rumen at a young age. They're given ad lib access to nuts from as long or as early as they can eat them, and they're given ad lib access for a full month in the shed after they're weaned off. So they're probably eating about 4 kilos in the shed for a month after being weaned. So I don't skimp. They've been getting kind of about a kilo, 1.2, 1.3 kilos all summer long. And they normally get between a kilo and a half and 2 kilos in the shed in the winter. But yeah, that's up to now. So I don't skimp on nuts, and I think it pays. The next one then is straw. I estimate that I probably use 1 round bale of straw per calf. So it's coming in at about €30 for the straw. The vaccine then and the dosing. This is kind of a big one for me, because we tend to try and avoid problems when we're working full time. So the total of that is $34.44 per head. And I'll tell you now what that includes, and I'll put up a little screenshot so that you can see it. So what it is it's the precision microbes. So the calves got that for, I'd say, between 20 and 30 days, again, depending on their age, and anything that was sick or off or anything like that would have got it a bit longer. They got their blackleg, their Tribovax 10 shots. They got 2 shots of that. That came in at $180 per shot, so $360 total. The Bovipass, that's the dearest vaccine that we're using. But if you'll see, again, last week's video, we had an awful issue with pneumonia, so we don't mind covering them for that. It's costing nearly €7 a dose, and they're getting 3 doses. So they're getting 2 doses as calves when they're in the shed on the feeder, and then they're getting their booster shot. They got it last week before they go into the shed again. Kind of usually try and do it before they're castrated in the winter time. So that's 3 shots. That's coming in at over €20 per head. That's a lot. The IBR then, they just got their shot of that last week. Again, we put the pneumonia in the shed that year down to IBR because they had the snotty noses. So we're giving them that. It's a cheaper one. It's $380 per shot, and they just get 1 shot of that, and it does them for 6 months. The Coxy dose then, they get 1 dose of that in the shed again as calves, and that's coming in at $420 per calf. They got a dose then of Albex. It's coming in at 34 cents, and a dose of an ivermectin last week again, and that was 42 cents. So look, pennies. They also got a fly. At the time the flies were driving them mad, I gave them a pour on a Butex. That's coming in at 116 a dose, per animal, which is very expensive. So yeah, that's where the 34.44 total is coming from, is all of those. I'll put in the little screenshot there. So that's that. That 34.44 doesn't include then the vet. So any call outs the vet does, any antibiotics, if there was a herd test, castration, I'll put that into that once it's done. So all them like odd bits and pieces. So vet costs. We were very lucky this year. We had very, very little vet call outs in the early kind of baby calf rearing stage, if you want to call it that. What that includes is, so 733. So basically what I do is I add again all of the vet costs for any calf in, and I divide it across the 40. So what was there was, we done one scour test, that was €22. Do you know, one of them kits that come back either positive or negative. There was the surgery on the calf with the urine problems, and there was the extra call out for the calf with the urine problem. Probably shouldn't have included that because it's technically into the 1st of September, but look, I'll put that in there. There was a small, 9 ml of anti-inflammatory painkillers, very small. A bit of, there was antibiotics for that calf that had the laryngitis. That's it then, really. And that came into a total of, I think, just around £300. Divide that between the 40 calves, so it came into 733 per calf. The other thing then is grass, /fertilizer. And because the calves are on their own block of ground, I was able to divide the fertilizer on their area only. And again, as I said in the last video, they didn't need a whole pile of fertilizer because they're grazing predominantly the reseeded ground, which hasn't got a whole pile of fertilizer all summer long. So that's only coming in at €13 per calf. Again, I divided the fertilizer across all of them, and then I added all the fertilizer up and divided across all the calves. The bullocks grazed that ground as well for the first while after it was set. So yeah, I was doing a bit of messing there, but I think that's fairly accurate. Grass is really cheap, especially for us, because we tend to only spread fertilizer in the spring and in the autumn. We'll go out now with around next week to finish off. I think the closing day is next Sunday. So we'll go out next week, and that'll be the 8th. Like, we don't spread a huge amount of fertilizer on ground, so it works out cheap. There's also a slurry contractor cost in that as well. So yeah, that's it. That's all the variable costs for us to get the calf from 0 to, what are they? February, March, April, May, June, July, August. They are 7 months old now. So to get them to 7 months, it's costing, where is it now? It's costing €317 and 96 cents. So that's it. Obviously, you need to add in your calf cost, whatever you paid for them, your fixed costs. Try and figure that out. Your accountant will know your fixed costs divided across your animals per head. We don't include a land charge because we own all our own land and we don't rent anything. And I don't include a labour charge because we don't tend to take a huge amount, like we don't take a wage from the farm, if that makes sense. So right or wrong, but we tend to invest back into it. We're just at the age where we can. So that's it. €317, €318 probably, to rear the calf from 0 to 7 months. They were 220 kilos probably a month or 6 weeks ago now. So they're probably 240 kilos, 250 kilos to get them to that age. You could probably you'd be adding on another couple of £100 there easily for fixed costs and what else? The calf cost. So that's it basically. It might give people an idea if they want to go rearing calves next year of what are the big costs or the variable costs involved, and they do change and alter a little bit depending on the farm. But yeah, it'll give an idea. I was at Peter Hanrahan's farm walk yesterday evening, the B500 walk. Really good farm. Like, the yard was a thing of dreams now, to be honest. It was really nice. And hello to all the farmers that came up and said hello to me. Appreciate it. So I actually got a few ideas. he had a lovely crush. I'll actually put in a video of the crush because it was class. He had a separate crush for he built a new crush for the cattle, a Condon crush with a circular pen and everything, and he then used the old crush as a calf crush, so it's like a really narrow crush, so that, you know, when you're dosing calves on your own and they twist in the crush and end up going backwards and it just turns into chaos. But yeah, so he put up like a small little calf crush beside the other one, and it's cool now. You can just tell the thought, everything was precise, precision, efficiency. I'll put in a picture as well of the cattle shed, because the way he has the feeder done at the back of the cattle shed is exactly how I wanted to do it. And I was thinking I'd have to put up like a butt wall, but the way he's done with the concrete trocks and the bar is so much easier, and it looks the part now, I have to say. Really good job. So the yard, I definitely pulled a few ideas now from him. Real good operator. The margins he's making is something else. He must be in the real top 10-20% of the country. He's nearly all Frisian bullock system, and the weights he's getting the calves into without feeding any meal over the summer. His calves the batch calves we saw were 230 kilos, and they got no meal all summer. Just excellent grass. The whole farm is reseeded. Really good grassland management. So that is the aim of the game, is to get there, that we don't have to feed any meal for the summer, save on this up here, and get grass as good as what he's at. But yeah, I'll show in a few videos, just some lovely massive crowd. I think there was 300 or 400 people at it. So yeah, we'll take a few bits from that. It's always good to see other people's yards and steal their ideas. So yeah, that's probably it for the costings. I'll flip it now and you can screenshot what's there. We've had to give the cows 2 bales of silage because grass is very tight, which is probably factored by that there's 60% rushes on this farm where the cows are, and it just stops growing grass very fast. I'd say it only grew grass properly for 6 weeks this year. So this field is the next field we're going reseeding. It needs the ditches are probably out. Geez, I'd say they're out 20 or 30 foot in places. The drain along there all needs to be cleaned out because this is just saturated. And then we'll probably leave it sit for the winter and reseed it in the spring. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if this gets mucked up, but this site now is pretty depressing. God almighty, it's gone from summer to winter in the space of 2 days.